Ashley. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Summer. Hey, Linda. Diana. And Nikki again. KW. Hey, guys. What's going on? Sorry, you guys. It took a minute for us to go live. There's been too much going on. Drama-wise, and not too much going on in the boys' case, as you guys all know. We've been trying to get any type of update or any type of information from law enforcement, but dealing with Bakersfield Police Department is not going to happen like that. Which we all expected. Those who live here, we already know how they work, and that's okay. You know what I mean? We're not going to pressure them for no information or anything. Like they always said, what you don't know won't hurt. So with that being said, I just kind of want to do like a question and answer session, if that makes sense. I want to start off by saying, please don't bring up any other YouTubers on this channel at all. I do not want the drama. We don't need the drama. If I don't want my name and my wife's name coming out of their mouths, we're going to respect their wishes and do the same. We're not going to bring their names up out of our mouth. Therefore, we don't want them brought up in this channel whatsoever. If they are brought up, we're going to have to remove you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Don't inbox later and say, I don't know why you guys blocked me or deleted me or whatever, because we said it one too many times. We're not about the drama. We're not here to, Erica, we're not here to feed off the drama. We're here about the boys. We're going to continue being about the boys, and we've been about the boys. It has been long. Like, it's sickening how long it's been with no information. It's sickening how much stuff has gone around, how many leads have been covered, how many tips have been received, and nothing's come about, any of it, that we know of. Because like I said, law enforcement, they're not going to share everything, and that's okay. Hey, everybody who's just joining, like I said, it's just a question and answer session. Just trying to give a little update, which there's not too much to update, and that's why I'm on here to let you guys know. That's why we haven't been going live. We did try to contact law enforcement to see what information we can get. They're not willing to give up any information, which is totally understandable. We have no problem with that. We can't just roll with a question. Did Bakersfield gather the found van seat and trash cans as evidence? To be honest with you, that was all Crenshaw. I'm not, babe. Do you know if the trash can and the van seat and all that was collected?
No, they did not collect them.
So obviously that stuff was not collected from the Bakersfield police, if that's what you're asking, which I don't understand why. But no.
If anybody wants to go on talk with you, you can drop the link.
Oh yeah, if anybody wants to get on here, talk with, go live or talk or ask any questions or something, the link's gonna be on there. Feel free to hit that link and we'll get you in here. So yeah, with that being said, I don't know. I can't answer why Bakersfield police didn't collect any of that stuff for evidence. If it would have been one of us, we would have. But what would we do with it? Excuse me. It's like, I don't know. It's hella sad, like the way. But like I said, law enforcement have the way of doing things, especially Bakersfield. Like, you can meet them when the case happens and won't see them for a few. And then when you see them again, they got a whole lot. You know what I mean? They could be building a major case right now. They could have something bigger than what was out there. Who knows? You know what I mean? Only God knows. Yeah, flyers have been passed out everywhere. Um, as far as I know, there's been some passed out Arvin, Lamont, Bakersfield, Rosedale, Oildale, the Stockdale area, the southwest of Bakersfield, east side of Bakersfield, the northwest, southeast. There's been flyers everywhere. There's been flyers placed from Bakersfield to Mojave, Tehachapi, Keene, everything down that way. There's flyers. AV and them got their area covered. Matt, they got their area covered. Crenshaw for damn sure got her area covered. Row, they're everywhere. So yeah, pretty much most of it's covered in the surrounding areas of California City and Bakersfield, California. So, which is a good thing because the word needs to get out there, no matter what. We sometimes fly a banner on the back of our truck, or we'll have the pictures posted on the back windows or the side windows or whatever, just to get the word out. You know, we give out flyers whenever we have them. We're trying to make everybody aware of it because this case to me for a minute felt like it was getting quiet, and it's sad. It shouldn't get that way. I'm not gonna let it go that way. It's just depressing, you know, like see a lot of people saying thank you. You guys are welcome. Thank you guys for following the story. Thanks for passing out flyers. Thanks for doing your research and doing whatever it is you guys do to help get this word out. It's devastating to know that it's been this long and there's been nothing, no answers, no, not even from the West family or anything. Like, I don't know. I couldn't even speak on their behalf or anything. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't think they are thinking. Um, it says Jacqueline and Trezell have a court date in family court soon. Do you know what's that about? The only thing I'm aware of that there was something filed against Trezell was something from child support. So, with that being said, that could be the case. It may not be. I myself haven't done.
To me. For what she's worth.
How though?
I don't know. They just pulled it up.
I'm figuring see for real if that's what it is. Anyway, you guys, I'm sorry. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. As far as the West family goes, Jacqueline, Trezell themselves, I couldn't tell you guys. There's been pictures and little things floating around here and there that supposedly the boys are in the car or what have you. I doubt very much anybody's in the backseat of that car, and if it is, it's not the boys. So why people are so sick-minded and doing dumb shit like that, I don't know. On the flip side, it kind of felt like the case was going cold. But then again, you guys got to remember certain police departments, sheriff's departments, they have certain protocols that they got to follow, and they really do follow them. You know what I mean? And that's what we need: people who are going to stick to their guns. Somebody who's going to stand strong for the boys. Because Cal City was obviously doing what they could, but I mean, it probably would have been better if they would have handled the case off way earlier than what they did. So with that being said, they didn't. This is where we're at. We went from having minimal information to really having no information, and that's okay. Uh, yes, the city filed a civil suit against Trezell and Jackley, so they have to answer questions under oath. What happened to the sighting at the motel? Look, you guys, someone asked what happened to the sighting at the there. Man, we gave that motel information to law enforcement. We gave it to Cal City. We gave it to Bakersfield Police. We gave it to whoever we thought we should have it. As always, Um, Again, law enforcement is not going to call us and say, hey, we followed up on the tip you gave, or hey, we followed up on this lead and this what came about. So, with that being said, we don't know what came about. The person that was at that motel is still at that motel. So, I'm assuming that nothing big came about that. But it's not something that we still let go. We're still on there. Eyes are on it now as we speak. So, like I said, whatever law enforcement can't and won't do, we're here to do that. There's a lot of things they don't take serious and they should, and there's a lot of things they take serious and they shouldn't. But that's just how they work, and we can't do nothing about that. Um, so, with that person at the motel, I couldn't tell you if they've been questioned. I couldn't tell you anything other than the day I was there when me and my wife were there and BPD showed up and they knocked at the door and they spoke for about a minute or two.
Yeah, that's her.
They informed
the whole check thingy.
They pretty much informed her that they got that call that she was around the kids or seen the kids or something like that, and that there were people out there watching, which was my wife and I. And from that day forward, she had left the motel. So we did lose her for a day or two. We didn't stop looking. We waited. We sat. She finally did return back to the motel in the same room. So we've been on her since then, and that's what it is. What's this?
Hi.
Hello. Sorry, I don't know how to work this thing too well. My wife usually does. She's the tech savvy one.
No, it's okay. I just want to thank you guys so much for being on this. And when I seen the signs out here in Hesperia, California, where I'm up this way, and Friday, I was just so happy. Like, this case is not gonna go unnoticed, because from what it seems like, and like everything you just said and everything we're gathering, I just pray to God it's not gonna be another lost case out
Right.
there in that area, and it's really devastating, and we need to just really get this out here. And wherever I can, I had thought about that before I seen this, like wherever I could get a original flyer from, or if it's one that I could print out so I could start putting it out there or something. Maybe somebody might know these people or something. You never know. And this
Yeah.
place is real small, so it's like, somebody gonna end up saying, it's gonna take for one person probably to go to jail for everybody to start singing like a mockingbird. That's what I'm thinking though. And
Yeah.
it's gonna take, I think, for that adopted dad and or one of them,
Yeah.
or adopted mom. But I just don't want this case to go unnoticed. It's sad. I had been thought they had found them boys way before I started following you guys and seeing, but no, it's like you don't hear it enough on the news. I thought that's why I thought they were already found.
Right. I mean,
So
like within the 48 and 72 hours, my wife and I kind of figured out that that's where it was headed. It wasn't going to get too much media coverage and stuff like that. So that's why we brought it upon ourselves to go ahead and cover whatever we can cover that media is not covering.
yeah,
And so, with that being said, we're trying that, and it's getting harder by the day to get information. And
it
um,
is. It's like you never seen anyone just shield up like this, like not say anything, like something is not. And then if you've been looking, not to jump off that subject, but it's been a lot of stuff going on in Bakersfield every day
It's
now.
been like that for the last
And
3 years.
the like more than 1, 2, 3 cases a day. So it's like, wait a minute. No, I really feel those kids was human trafficking. Like sold.
right,
So no one's gonna come forward about anything like that, but hopefully someone that actually seen them. And like, I think they need to go run those neighbors camera that seen them the last time and showed all that. They need to go day by day from back from the 19th, the 21st, whenever the last day they seen them, and see and start from there and see, because so we could figure it. We could all sit here and put our minds together and figure this case out if we wanted to, or get close to something where they can get arrested. But it's puzzling me that the police can't really do that. And then it's like, okay, yeah, the police can't say anything, but they ain't even doing too much.
Right.
They not arrested yet.
They're not doing too much of nothing, and I think that's the sad part about it, because anything smaller than this case, they would have been on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
right.
It's been things not as big as this that's happened, and like I said, they were there. You know what I mean? They've arrested people who didn't need to be arrested and stuff like that. They've detained people who didn't need to be detained. So I don't see what the big issue is in this case. Obviously, there's some kind of
connection crime. Or something.
Yeah, there's some kind of crime. There's some kind of connection involved in these two boys' case that it's just as hard for law enforcement as it is for us civilians and people on the street, the community, trying to gather this information. Because if you ask me, they're not acting like they murdered them, but they're not acting like they're missing.
They didn't murder. And everyone I talked to, they never heard of the story.
Wow.
A lot of people I talked, they never even heard of the story. So that's another thing, like, wow. Or they'll be like, oh, I heard about that, like, dang, they didn't. Yeah, no, they still not found. And then you got to go back and be like, no, look at this video, the first video that they put out. Now that right there tells you, like, wait a minute. Now, like I keep saying, if it was one of us, we will be locked up until, probably they have been probably threw away the key just because. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I wanted to just thank you guys, and I'm gonna keep staying on it, and anything, if I see anything or hear anything, I'm definitely gonna put it out there, because it's like, man, this is really sick.
It all helps, you know what I mean? Like, we'll get you some updated flyers and stuff like that with the updated reward and stuff like that. I'll have my admin look you up and send it to you, so you could either print them out, or we could print them out and send them to you, however it works best for you. But please do keep this story going, because these boys need us all, you know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Well, keep doing what you guys are doing, and be safe out there.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
LV, United with Stan. How are you?
All right, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. John Q out of New York. Been bringing awareness to this case on the East Coast, while you guys are out there on the West Coast. And much love to you and your family and Laura and all of the people that have been participating since day one. You guys have been doing an extraordinary amount of work, and I have to give you a major shout out to everything that you guys have done to keep awareness strong and up to date. So I wanted to just jump on here and kind of like, give you a little bit of, I guess, an idea as to, what my investigation, my background is not in law enforcement or legal or medicine or anything. I'm a parent, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. I do have grandchildren, and I understand what it is to be concerned about, when kids go missing, especially a 3 and 4 year old. And wanted to share with you, I guess, my feelings and some of my thoughts with you, because of the amount of work that you and your team out there, right on the ground, boots on the ground, have been putting out on a day-to-day, week-to-week, and now month-to-month basis. So big shout out to you.
Hey, thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you for getting the word out over there on the East Coast. That's amazing news. It needs to get that far and even further if we can. So I appreciate you following the boys' story. I appreciate you being interested. I appreciate your opinions and everything you have to offer to this life. Like I said, man, God bless your heart. God bless your family, your children. Let's just keep our head up and keep this story going.
Absolutely. And I've done work on the Kanika Jenkins case for the last 2 years, and that's been on my table. I've also just started doing work on another case which was brought to my attention, as well as this one. And I'm just looking at some of the finer points based on statements, based on evidence collected, any forensics that are out there that we can at least incorporate into the case, as well as potential suspects or people of interest. So, in looking at this, a lot of things are wrong from day one. The extraordinary work that another YouTuber, and I'll be very careful not to mention, as you said before, had done with the video surveillance footage. I'm sure you're aware of who I am talking about. And looking at that and then comparing statements and then news press conferences that were done gives us a lot of information on social media to really carefully take a look at and glean, and not to come to any quick conclusions. Because once we do that, then we mess a case up entirely, and everything gets lost in the shuffle. You know, it happened
Yes,
with the Kanika Jenkins case. It happened in a number of cases, you know, and that's what we're trying to be very careful about with this case, not to go scatterbrain with it, not to draw conclusions too quickly, but to allow the evidence to come out. The work is being done, it's continuing to be done, and folks like yourself, myself, and other channel holders that are covering the case, the evidence and the truth will come out. I
yes,
know
sir.
that, and I believe that. I'm just waiting for them to do us. I'm just waiting for them to do a search from California City to Bakersfield and let them cover the 67 miles on that highway stretch that goes from one point to the other, and notify the citizens between both points to say, "Hey, look, everybody along this highway line, get out in your yards and do a little looking, do a little searching. If you find something that's unusual, abnormal, call it in, you know." But I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
waiting to hear that, be put out there, because it's a collective effort. You know, the police can do only but so much, but we as a community can at least assist and help, as we're
Right,
trying to do now. That's what I'm waiting for.
right. And you're right. And I feel like that probably should have been the first step after the first month went by. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's a lot of people that have families. There's people going through things before this case even came up. So a lot of people did put certain things to the side to get out here and keep their boots on the ground and stuff like that. And I'm sure if the boys are watching this, they're gonna appreciate it from the bottom of their little hearts. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
like I said, my wife and I identify ourselves as a collective, which means we're willing. We're not owned by anybody. We don't pretty much own anything on this case. We're just willing to take in anyone that's willing to come out and help. Um, no matter where it is that we have to search, like you said, down the highway, um, little farms that are sitting off to the side of the road, stuff like that. Um,
Right.
I think it's the secluded areas that the people want to be left alone and not bothered. And I feel like if they don't come out, we won't bother them type situation.
Right. But here on the East Coast, not only New York, I know that there are a couple of channel holders on the East Coast here. Uh, Philadelphia is also involved with a channel holder that's been posting on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. I was just on her channel just yesterday. And I guess, part of the work that I want to do is to connect with channel holders like yourself and a number of other YouTubers on here to continue doing the work that they're doing, and make other channel holders aware. And we can put more channel holders on YouTube covering the case, so that this way that awareness is strengthened not only from the West Coast and the East Coast. It begins to cascade over the entire United States, and that's where we want to, get it and keep it up until we get the information that says somebody's going to go to jail for this, and they need to.
Right.
They need to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you,
So
by any
that
chance, do you have
I
a
guess
YouTube
that's what,
channel?
I'm sorry. What's that?
I said, by any chance, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do. It's under my name, John Q, and all of my work on the Kanika Jenkins case is on there. The work that I'm starting on this case is on there. The work I'm getting ready to start on the Kiera Coles case will be on there, and a number of other cases that I'm looking at. But I like to take one case at a time because it involves a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of study, and a lot of insight to really begin to put out the right content, which is based on facts and not speculation.
Correct.
Yeah, but I think you guys are doing a fantastic work. When I first came across your channel, I said, "My God, look at that! They're out there searching here. They're in, you got the press's attention, which is good. You're following the police, which is good because they get press coverage and any kind of continued coverage, press coverage, social media coverage that you guys can continue to get will strengthen the attention and focus to stay on this case. I wouldn't be surprised in a short period of time that it doesn't get plastered on major news media as it should. CNN, ABC, CBS, WOR, all of the radio stations that are on there talking about this case, because the more that happens, the more awareness it'll bring to this case, and
Right.
maybe the quicker closure, maybe a quicker closure. But I believe that the Bakersfield Police Department is diligently working on this. They do have the resources to deal with this matter. I believe California Police is also a peripheral agency still working on the case. And if it wasn't really for them, really, jumping on this the way they did, who knows? It might not have went back to Bakersfield. It might have went cold right from there.
Yeah, you're right. You were so right. And I thank God every day that it did come back to Bakersfield. And I think nobody would want it any other way.
Right. Well, Trezell and Jacqueline's story uh, didn't didn't work. It didn't wash clean, and that's what left a lot of holes in California police's investigation. If you have no trace of the boys in the backyard or in the house, and you've got scent dogs and cadaver dogs and all resources from the FBI that were used to eliminate that location completely, then where else would you look? And so you have to go back 3 months. Oh, they came from Bakersfield. Oh, well, let's begin to move back toward Bakersfield and find out if the boys ever showed up in California City. You see, and in my view, from what I've gathered so far, I don't believe they made it to California City. No one has ever seen the boys, all 6 children together, the night or the afternoon of December 19th. Only 4 children got in the van to go to Bakersfield for the Christmas holiday visit. And so that tells me that they didn't have the kids, or the kids weren't with them as of the 19th. So now I'm beginning to work backwards from there.
Right.
So
You're right. And
but I do want to ask you, Nikki, is it your name is Nikki?
my name?
Yes.
No, I'm Laura. I'm LV.
Laura, okay, okay. Laura, out of your, I guess, experience being in the field when you and your team went out to Cottonville and Pacheco Road that day that the 50 law enforcement people were out there searching, did you gather anything from that search experience? Was it a lead? Was it a tip? Yeah, and in order to enable Bakersfield police to actually search that area?
To be honest with you, I want to say they acted on a tip. The thing about it is that since this case has started, there's been more false tips than anything that's really actually true, if that makes sense.
Right.
That area was previously covered before by my wife and herself, our little group, and a few other groups have covered that area also.
Right. That
Um,
was back in January.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I want to say that it was another false tip.
Okay. And so how long did they say they were out there before they concluded their search?
They were out there for several hours. I want to say they were out there from somewhere between 8:30 to 8:45 to about noontime.
About noon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I was just wondering why they went back out there to research that area, uh, uh, to even give the idea that going out there they were not really looking to actually rescue anyone. It looked more like a recovery type of
Recovery.
search. Yeah, yeah, which only kind of leads us to believe that this is not a rescue type of operation anymore. They're looking to recover. And so I said, right at the computer when you guys were out there, I said, I hope they don't find a thing. I hope that they don't find a thing out there.
Right.
And, more than likely they didn't. And that's good because it at least allows us to believe that the boys are still alive. They just need to be located. I believe somebody's got them still. That's just my belief because there's been no evidence of anything otherwise.
Correct.
And when this thing gets resolved and the truth does come out, it's going to satisfy us all to know that coming together as a team and working diligently and intelligently and with faith, hope, and love, we can accomplish anything together as a team. When we argue and when we bash and when we go against each other, nothing gets accomplished. Nothing.
Nothing at all, and it's a proven fact.
Absolutely. But
Amen
yeah,
to
that
that.
was one of the questions that was on my mind. I wanted to just jump up here real quick and ask you. And thank you for allowing me to connect with you, especially on this critical matter. It's going on 4 months. Hopefully, some new information will come out on the case, which will lead us more closer to getting to the boys. Someone does call in or gives the police a lead or a tip to say, "Hey, the boys are over here. They're alive. Come pick them up." That's what I'm waiting for.
We're all waiting for it. All waiting for it. Can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. So that this way, they know that the rest of us can more or less get some sleep, get some
Yeah,
rest,
you're right.
because this definitely does cut into sleep. It cuts into eating. It cuts into family time. Those that have children, that have to continue to take care of the family, as well as deal with the stressful emotions behind this case.
Right.
You know, but major shout out to you and your family. Much love. And dedication and Godspeed with all strength to you and yours because of all of the work that you've done. I'm going to do my part here in New York. I'm going to continue to spread awareness, make sure that everyone stays connected with the right channels because of the right information, rather than go out there and dig on a scavenger hunt, to mess
Right.
things up.
Right. Well, amen to you. God bless you. Feel free to jump on this thing anytime, any day.
Well, thank
Feel
you.
free to contact me whenever. If there's
Well, if
any
you need to
information.
if you need to get a hold of me, it's my email is John Q, my name, 001@gmail.com. And if there's anything that I can do to assist, you let me know. I'm just, coming on board and trying to get awareness on YouTube as best as I can, and make sure that the responsible channel holders carry the information with facts and not speculation and everything. So this way we can at least keep awareness on social media here on YouTube nice and tight. This way, if any newcomers come on board, they know exactly where the resources are, the people that are in control of the right information.
Perfect. Thank you, John. Appreciate you so much.
Okay, Laura, good talking with you, and God bless you and your family once again, and stay well and be blessed with Godspeed.
Likewise, sir. Man, that guy was on point. He was on point. So that's
Drop the link.
that's where we're at, you guys. He couldn't have said it any better. He made more sense of it and made more sense of it for law enforcement. Um, as you heard, he's just now getting onto the case. Well, just not just now, but he's early stages of the case. So with that being said, you guys if you're not following him already, go in there and give him that follow. Um, he's a factual type of person. That's what we need on the case. More facts, less fiction. Thank you guys all for joining.
Drop the link.
The link's down there if anybody wants to come in, give your opinion, ask questions.
Rhonda Davis, go ahead and click on the link.
Hold on, okay. All right, you guys. Sorry, my bad. You know. No, I'm just playing. That's my brother. Anywho's, so back on the boys, you guys. Like I said, that's pretty much it on updates and stuff like that. As far as Jackie and Trezell, I'm hearing they're all over the place. How they could be in all these places at once, I have no idea. But I doubt very much they're at the West's home. I mean, at the Aspen home. Hello,
Hey, Laura. How you
how's it
doing,
going?
Laura?
All right, how about yourself?
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, you guys are doing an amazing job. I'm praying for the boys here. I'm from Portland, Oregon. I am trying to get some of my friends at work. I'm trying to get maybe 5 or 6 people. If I can, I will drive down. And then I'm gonna ask. My dad's got 2 German shepherds that he uses when he goes hunting. If I can use one of his dogs, I'll bring one down.
Oh man, if you could
So,
do that, it would be so amazing. And if you need help getting down here or anything, just let us know.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Definitely.
I'm praying for them. I will. I'll leave you guys a comment or something, or if you guys got an email I can write to here in
Um,
maybe like 2 days.
if you can do me a favor, and you'll see my admin, either Tracy, Ken, or Nikki. Go ahead
All
and
right.
send them an inbox or some type of message, and we'll go ahead and connect through there.
All right. All right. Well, God bless you.
Hey, God bless you too.
Take
Have a
care.
wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Amazing, you guys. Amazing. People all over the place offering help as much as they can help. Um, all right, cool. Um, Nikki, Tracy, thank you for getting that information back and forth. We appreciate you so much. Again, I can't tell you guys how thankful we are to have you guys following our page. How thankful we are to have you guys following the boys page. Um, it's selfish for anybody who has the boys, if they have the boys, for them to let this go on this long.
After all this time, it closed into their names.
Hello.
What's her name on there? What's her name on there? I can't see.
Focus. Focus.
Focus, you want to speak up, babe?
Or maybe try going out and coming back in because we can't hear a thing. Did my wife find her brother's cross at the cemetery? Did you find your brother's cross?
No.
No, she did not. She was out there almost all day yesterday looking. It was heartbreaking. But
Are you on? What's her name again?
focus.
Focus, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hun. Any questions?
I just no, I just wanted to let you know I've been following you guys like since day one. I've been following all this, and I'm from Tucson, and like so. I mean, I've been letting people know even over here. You know what I mean? People at Circle K. I mean, it just don't matter. I'm always talking about these boys, and and also been following these goons on on the YouTube that are over here trying to throw some wrenches in this. You know what I mean? In this case because of their own selfish intentions. So I just wanted to let you know that my thoughts are with you, and you know, just those boys are very, very blessed to have people like you guys that are dedicated to, you know what I mean, keep their name alive and keep their name, just out there in the media and keep it going. But I'm following like everything, I'm following the goons, I'm following everybody just to make sure that, that I let people know if they're throwing some misinformation, if I catch it before somebody else does. And I just wanted to let you know, guys, you guys are doing a great job, and just, I mean, don't get discouraged. Keep it, just keep your head up and keep the faith. That's, I mean, everything will happen in time, in its own time, in its own right.
Yes, thank you. I'm sure the boys are going to appreciate everybody. I'm sure one day, hopefully, they come back to see all this. They're going to hear what you said. They're going to hear what everybody has to say about them, all the posters that are out. I'm sure if they're with us still, I'm sure they've seen them already. And
Right.
we appreciate you for following us since day one. There's no other way we can thank you. Uh, Besides, keep
Yeah,
following
I try
us.
to let you guys know. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, I just try to let you guys know, like, my profile name, I have it also. People can't be trolling my my Facebook, so I
No,
have
no,
it.
I hear
It
you.
says in the drag Christine, so I don't know, like, it says it has a whack. It's my last name and my middle name. It's my last name spelled backwards and my middle
Oh,
name,
okay.
so I have a funky profile name. So
No, I hear you.
just so you
Okay.
know that that's who I am. So when you guys see me post on Facebook, that's who called in. But I was trying to get like a banner or something because I live right here on like a main strip right here on the south side of Tucson. And I mean, the traffic is constant. You know what I mean? I mean, people working, I mean, just, it's a constant flow of traffic. And I was trying to get like a banner because I'll put it on my chain link. You know what I mean? So like it's constantly being seen all day, every day. Regardless. I mean, I don't know if they're out here, but you never know. People travel all the time, and you never know.
Oh yeah, definitely. They could be anywhere right now.
Right.
Like I said, me and my wife been going around to like the less fortunate, the homeless, and stuff like that, and also giving them flyers because those guys are out everywhere all day long, all night long,
Yep.
all morning
And
long.
they travel too. You know what I
And they
mean? They're
travel.
always traveling. Yep. 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 Because there's a lot of like people that I don't want to say like, but like shelter hoppers. You know what I mean? Just so they have a
Right,
place
right.
to stay. They'll travel and just like go. Wherever they have openings in travel, and they'll give them travel tickets like to get on the bus and. You know what I mean? Go to get into shelter and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, people
we,
travel all the time.
we try to get the flyers out to the ice cream trucks, to the parks, especially with the ice cream trucks, because they go to
Right.
a bunch of different neighborhoods. What kid does not want to run out to an ice cream truck or something?
Right,
So
exactly. And then the kids
it,
are the ones that are going to be honest because they don't know how to
yeah,
lie. They don't know how to they don't know how to be telling stories or, giving stuff up. But I
yeah.
was listening to the interview because I mean I constantly watch it, but I didn't even realize how to slow it down. I did it by accident and I slowed it down like when they were talking, and Jacqueline says something to Chazelle, like I can't catch it. I keep trying to replay it and it replays it really slow, but you hear her. You don't hear it in the regular speed. But she says something to him, like she's kind of talking under her breath when he was talking about um what was he saying? What was he say? He said they're gonna be, I don't know, I think it's right around the time where he says they're gonna be rambunctious, but she had been looked over to him and you could hear her. She said something. And I keep trying to replay it, but for some reason I
Let
can't
me see.
I can't decipher what she said. Like she says something, it's clear enough, but maybe some other ears need to hear it, But
Yeah,
she said something.
it's funny that you say that because it's been a couple of times that I have me and my wife have both sat down and went over and over and over, and each time we went over, we heard something that we didn't hear before.
Right,
Now
right.
I
And then
don't
did you
know,
hear when
and
Trezell said something too in regards to the biological mom? Because I'm even in contact with her. I send her little things and telling her if she ever needs to talk. You know what I mean? Like, just mother to mother. Like, she
Right.
might need an outlet that's not local. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
I told her, she reaches, she'll respond back to me, and she'll be like, thank you, and I'll let her know some information if people are talking. You know what I mean? Just so she knows, kind of what's being talked about or what's going around, so she can at least fend for herself. You know what I mean? Regardless of
Right.
what the
Right.
situation is, that's not our business. You know what I mean? But the business is these boys right now. So, I do reach out to her, and I do have her on my Facebook and stuff. So I don't try to push too much, because I know that, this is a lot to take in. But
Yeah. Hell yeah.
but Chazal said something too in regards to, and I don't know if you catch the way he says it, but he says, when they talk about the biological mom, that she thinks that it might be foul play or whatever. But
Right.
he says, yeah, I talked to her this morning. He says, remember when he says I talked to her this morning?
Right.
It's like he says, like he called her, and I was like, how would he have her contact information? This is just thoughts going through my head. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
if they didn't have contact with her, how would he have that contact information for her? You know what I mean? When he says, I talked to her this morning, did he talk to her there when she was there in Cal City, or did he contact her and tell her, hey, the kids are missing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if they
Well.
didn't have, because I know that she hadn't seen the boys in a while or whatever. So like, did he have her number on the side? You know what I mean? On the sidelines, you know what I mean? Maybe her contact
Correct.
information. I don't know.
You know, I've there's on that too. There's been a couple of different things going around, and like I said, my wife and I, we just like to give out facts.
Right. Right.
We like to do our research on things we hear before we actually give them out. As far as that goes, I and my wife were under the impression that apparently somehow, mm, now don't quote me. Apparently
Yeah.
somehow
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan had got information that something was wrong with her kids. So she went down to California City and realized that something was going on. Um,
Yeah.
she
That's what
started
I'm saying.
checking at that.
I wonder if Trey contacted her. You know what I mean? I wonder if somehow he had her information. Because the way he says it, I don't know. Like I said, if you slow it down and you just kind of watch, like let it slow, like the speed of the tape, slow down. So he says, "Yeah, I talked to her this morning. If like, hey, I called her this morning, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way
Right.
his dialect, the way he says. So I wonder. I don't
You
know.
know,
Maybe
it's
to be
very
honest,
possible.
I
It's
don't
very
know.
possible. We cannot look past none of it. You know what I mean? It's all good information to
Else,
look into.
job,
And um, like I said, we replayed videos and replayed them, and there's a lot of things that
you hear and see.
hear and see that we're not there. Now I don't know if it's something that we want to hear and see, or I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell that
yeah,
is,
because
but
they're so engrossed in it. Like then your mind can be your own worst enemy, and it could be your best friend at the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right.
So you got to make sure you get your rest too. You got to make. I know that I'm an insomniac too, so I'm always following all this stuff. And I'm like so engrossed in this case. I even talked to AB. I send him emails, and I actually just send him some super chats and stuff. Like I'm even talking smack to Benny, and yeah, I got some old accounts. I mean, like just and I'm sending them because that AB dude that's on YouTube, he's calling them out. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that
Right.
he's around calling those dudes out. You know what I mean? Because
And it's pretty
they
sad that any of these YouTubers or streamers even have to go through that stuff with those guys. Like, it don't make no sense.
yeah,
Like, they swear up and down that they're here for the boys and stuff like that, but yet they're down in the bio family. They're down in the boys' case period. They're down in the people
right.
involved in the case, and it's just it's hard on everybody. It's hard on the people
Because
watching
they're
because
like a couple steps short of a staircase. You know what I mean? They're not all there. They're like whatever their situation is or whatever their background is, it is what it is. I don't judge, but they're a couple steps short of a staircase. Like so like he's and oh boy, he's just trying to fit in somewhere. But Mr. I don't even want to say his name because he ain't worth it. But not the one that had his signs put up over there at the house at the doctor's house, but
yeah,
the
I
other
hear you.
one that's in Texas. Yeah, he's just trying to fit in somewhere. But they said that he'll climb on anybody's back just to get where he needs to go. Like so, he's been on, I don't know if you've seen, but he's been on like YouTube channels like for in Great Britain, you know what I mean? Like with like sexual offenders and all this stuff. Like, and he's over there talking to him all sweet. Like, stop, you know, he plays whatever part he wants to play, you know? So
Yeah.
he'll climb over and step on anybody just to get where he needs to go. So I'm glad that there's people like AB and all them out there to call them out and put
Yeah,
it on
yeah, for
blast.
sure. Yeah,
So,
that's crazy. My wife
but
saw
I
her
just wanted,
rolling the
you know, I
video
just
now.
wanted to let you guys know my heart's with you, and you know, I'm right here and I'm on it, you know, because I'm like maybe my eyes might see something or hear something from way over here. You never know, you know, 'cause everybody processes information differently, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why when we're on our searches and stuff like that, we try to go confront some of the people, like the West family and stuff like that. We try to go live, um,
Right.
because we're too busy trying to talk to these people at the same time we're recording. So we're
Because you're
looking
trying to be
one
a little
way, and the people
discreet
in the
too, because
cameras
you're
could be
trying to
looking
catch
at
them.
something else that we need to be paying attention to. You know what I mean?
Right, and you're trying to catch things that maybe they won't say if they're on the you know on the live.
Right.
Are you all wet? Sorry, my son. Are you wet? Did you get in the bathtub? Oh, this boy, my little one. I have four. I have a 24-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 7, and a 3-year-old. So 15 years later, I have 2 kids. He's all soaking wet. He got in the bath. Take your clothes off. I'll change you. That one got me living on the edge. This one over here, he deciphers baby gates, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, but you know, my heart's with you, and I was telling Ryan Dean too, because I went through that DCS stuff, and I was trying to research stuff like on the DCS side for Kern County, and it is so hard to get any kind of like real information online, like when you go on the website and you try to find like web pages like to give you information or like to clue you in on how they operate. They have
Right.
it so like it's like tricky classified information. Like they only provide what they like the framework of what it is. They don't, you know what I mean? Because here you can look it up for Arizona and you can get the ins and outs. You can get through the ombudsman unit. That's like a advocate for people for DCS if they're having issues, and they have it for Kern County too, but um, they advocate for people if they're having issues with caseworkers, so on and so forth. And they actually do like yearly assessments on the DCS office, and they'll give you, and it shows. I mean, everything from, and it's so many pages. It's like hundreds of pages, but they basically look through everything, every nook and cranny of DCS, and find out where the downfalls are, find out what, and they present it. And you could read like the transcript saying, like, how come your turnover rate is so high? You know what I mean? How come you're going through so many people? And you kind of see DCS has such a high turnover rate with caseworkers and stuff that they don't even have time to train these caseworkers properly. You know what I mean? They don't have time to have them go through they have them go through like the basic mandatory, you know what I mean, to get in, the system. And then they have all these people that are taking kids that shouldn't be taken and not taking kids that need to be taken. You know what I mean? That are getting involved because they're not trained properly. Because their turnover rate is so high, they can never get these caseworkers into more training or to get in these certified classes so they can get more information and be able to make logical and educated decisions on, you know what I mean, kids that are really in danger and kids that are not,
Yeah,
you
there's
know.
like so much that they can do to update the system. Like one being that
Hey, hey,
they need to
sorry.
get more photos of these children
Stop.
periodically, like every three to
Yeah,
6 months, 6 to 9 months. So therefore, everybody knows and everybody has an idea of what these kids look like while they're aging and being tossed around to these different families. We're sitting here on these two little boys, only knowing what they look like about whatever they were, however old they were in that picture. That's what we're looking for. On the flip side,
right.
one can have a little Adam's apple already or something. You know what I mean? It can be something totally different. And I feel like,
Yeah, and they grow so fast too. Kids grow
yeah,
so fast. They grow so fast, and they sprout up. They go through little growth spurts where
yeah,
they're chubby and fat, and then all of a sudden they get tall. So how big they are. That mean, and it just depends on their biological. You know what I mean? Their DNA. If the dad's tall
right,
or whatever, it could be even a lot taller. You know.
right.
But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because I don't know. They got it down. I don't know. You think that one of them would have turned on one of them? You know what I mean? And Jacqueline, I think that there's some DV stuff going on. You know what I mean? In the situation, I went through all that too. I went through a marriage of domestic violence, and now I'm educated. You know what I mean? I've been single for 6 years on purpose. You know what I mean? But like, but if you don't know, if you don't educate yourself about domestic violence, there's so many signs of it that it's like they're just like, I hate to say it, but they're like child molesters. They groom you just like they groom, child molesters groom children. I think that they don't come walk up to you and say, hey, I'm gonna beat you in 5 months and I'm gonna take you from everything you know. If that were the case, nobody would be with a person that would manipulate them in that manner. So I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, I think I mean I'm not on on her on their side or anything, but I can see signs of kind of what I went through. You know what I mean? Like she and they spin the spider web. You know what I mean? To where you start to doubt your own self and you don't even realize it, and it happens over time. It doesn't happen right away. You know what I mean? Because they think a lot of domestic violence females or anybody, males or females, they they don't realize, you know what I mean? Because what they do is they present themselves as rocks. It's like that's a strong person. That's going to be your rock. You know what I mean? This and this and that. And then they slowly manipulate situations. You know what I mean? Like, who's that on your phone? Who's calling you? Then they slowly just kind of weave their web, and pretty soon you start just doubting your everyday activities. And then you're so engrossed in it, they make you so codependent on the situation, like that. If you do leave, like they take your documents, they take your ID, you know what I mean? So that you can't, so you end up coming back, And so I just
Right.
think that she's just as, her hands are just as dirty. You know what I mean? If there's knowledge, if she did it, it doesn't matter what the scenario is. If she has any type of knowledge of where these boys are or what, you know what I mean? But I think she has to, because if she didn't come out of that house, you know what I mean? She didn't come out of that
Right.
house until. And then did you see that there's 3 people in that video that come out? Did you see the 3
Yeah.
people? I saw a person. I was like, what? Yeah,
It,
I was watching. I recorded that and I was all sending it to AV. I was like, did you see this? Yeah, I was like, that's
yeah.
the trip. So I wonder
To
her.
me, like everybody, like they said that supposedly the kid had went over to the grandmother's or whatever. Um,
Right.
with that being said, I think the grandmother and everybody in the West that's home on Potomac is just as guilty of knowing where the
Yeah,
boys
yeah,
could
yeah.
possibly be. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
I
so I
mean,
think they should all get hemmed up. If that's case scenario, I hope they're making this case to where everybody's gonna get hemmed up. You know what I mean? Not just Trizell and Jacqueline, the grandmama, the brother that's over there, Jamal and all that, everybody. Because everybody has some ties into it. You know what I mean? So they're aiding and abetting, they're holding information. Because you can't tell me that Trizell's mom doesn't. She's been babying those boys for so long. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like yeah. Yeah, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So if somebody has selfish intentions, and somebody always has intentions to benefit themselves, there's people that are out there that are wired that way, in this world, that will just, you know what I mean? They can lay their head down at night and it will not even phase them that they totally uproot, and they can destroy somebody's life. They can lay down and go to sleep and wake up in the morning, it won't even phase them,
yeah,
So, people do that for so long, they become almost professionals at it. And but the one thing is that when you tell a lie, you have to tell another one to cover the other one up. Then you got to tell another one to cover that one up. Pretty soon you forget the first lie you tell. And the people that you're telling the first lie to, they remember because they assume it's the truth. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
So after they tell so many lies, eventually whoever they're telling is going to assume that they're telling the truth. They're going to remember that first lie. They're going to be like, wait a minute, hold up. That's not what you said. So I don't know. I just wanted to let you guys know I don't usually get on here and do all this streaming stuff, but I got my boy over here, all Vici over here. He's all naked.
Well, we appreciate you for getting on, and we
He's
appreciate
got my
everything you
little
just
vacuum over here.
said.
Yeah. So and he's jumping up and down on his bed. So I'm gonna get him going. But I just want to let you guys know, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of wanted so you guys get a feel of who I am. So next time if you guys see me post something or whatever, that you know where I'm coming from, because I have no selfish intentions whatsoever. I've been following this. Like my ears are getting hot just thinking about it because I'm really emotionally involved in this and I'm not even there. You know what I mean?
No, I hear
So
you. I hear you.
no, just make sure you guys get your rest. And, don't deprive yourself because then you can't be 100%. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah,
you don't
you're
take care
right.
of your can't, your mind's not going to be right. If you're deprived of sleep, it's going to start messing with the cycle. Like you said, you're going to hear things or see things that, you know what I mean? Maybe not like you're like, crazy lost your marbles, but it does affect your mental state. You know what I mean? The way you hear things or the way you perceive, you know, like if you're grouchy, with no sleep, you're gonna think
Yeah,
you're gonna be defensive, you
yeah, for
know.
sure.
So just take care of your guys and stuff, and tell Roro too. I mean, man, she's been holding it down too, and it's sad. It's disappointing. It's disappointing that there's people out there in the world like this. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
said I don't know if there's a way that I can get a banner, or I don't know, because I asked AV, but they already sent out so many, and they said the shipping and handling, I can pay for that. If I can get a banner, I have zip ties and everything. I'll zip tie that bad boy to my to my gate.
I hear you.
Just
Check it out. Look for Tracy Nee or Nikki Laverne and inbox them, and they could get you the information on how to get a banner and stuff like that.
okay, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna let you go because this little my little animal's over here climbing on everything. I gotta get him dressed and stuff. So,
All
but I
right.
just wanted to let you know, so you guys get a feel of who I am. So, my heart's with you, my prayers are with you, and things are gonna come out, and I hope they're making this case where it's gonna link everybody up and ham everybody up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't
Amen.
wish ill will on anybody, but if you have dirty hands, you got dirty hands, man. You have
Yep.
selfish
Yes,
intentions,
ma'am.
you don't need to be out here. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So.
ma'am.
All right, all right. Well, you guys take care and keep hunting them down because I watch you guys and you're on the truck right there. I'm like, you go, shoot.
For
Just like
sure.
right there, like just like, and you're plain as day right there. Like I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let it be known, that hey, we're
Yeah,
watching
for
you.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, mamas. You
All
guys
right.
take care. And yeah, I was watching too about the gravesite too. That's some jack up. And then that guy's over here trying to blame the kids. Like, get out of here. How many times have you said that to how many people for how long? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come up with
Yeah.
another one. At least come up with a better lie, or something. But
Yeah.
I hope she finds that cross. And I don't know. Yeah, you
She'll
should guys
find
find
it.
maybe an advocate to find out who advocates for people that have people that are buried in a cemetery. So I'm sure there's some type of advocate out there that can help with the rights of that. You know what I mean? So they're
Oh
not
yeah, we're looking into
desecrating his
that.
grave. Yeah, so they're not desecrating his grave site because that's not right.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Well, my love with you guys, and you guys take care. I'm gonna get my boy dressed, and I'm gonna still follow this chat right here. But you guys take care, okay? And then I'll hit you guys up to get that information for that banner.
For sure. Thank you. God bless.
Yeah, you too. Okay, make sure you get sleep. All right, guys.
We sure will. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Yep, she was pretty cool. Pretty much a lot of common sense for the people who don't have it. Like we all know where this case is going. But with that being said, you guys, we just wanted to give you guys that much of an update that we have. Not too much, but it's something. Wanted to apologize for uh, you guys waiting on the live for the past it's been about a week and a half now. I'm sorry. It's just things be getting hectic in our personal lives and with the boys and stuff like that. So we just had to take care of a few things, and we're back now. Not like we never left, but you know, if anybody else wants to hop on here before we end this, I want to give a shout out to Nikki and Tracy, my admins, for doing their thing, getting the information across to where it needs to go. They're the tech savvy ones, so we leave that up to them. Um, my wife and I did just receive some type of information that some about the Aspen home. We're gonna go ahead and get deeper into that to see if we can find out facts and stuff like that. Because if that's the case and the timeline is correct on there, then I would say the kids have probably been missing even before they said they were missing. So my wife and I are gonna go grab something to eat. We're gonna get our kids settled, and we'll more than likely be back on here later. Thank you guys for all the likes, follows, all the comments. Thanks everybody for watching. Um, the kids really don't know how blessed they are to have every one of you guys on here. Junior, I've read your comment. Any help you guys want to offer, we're here. Get a hold of my admin, Tracy or Nikki. Um, Anybody else have any information they want to share, or they need a copy of the flyer with the updated reward amount and stuff like that, then Nikki and Tracy will be the ladies for you. As far as the reward on the boys,
I have it right now. Amy just sent it to me.
I believe it is at. Let me check right now. It is at $123,000. So, with that being said, you guys, I would expect somebody would have spoke up already. With it being that amount, 50,000, somebody should have said something, but they haven't. So, we'll have the ladies get them flyers over to you with the updated amount, and do what you guys can do to get the story out. We're gonna do the same. We've been doing it. We're gonna continue to do it. Oh, it's at Marissa Jacket. Let me see. That says 123 or 25.
It's at 125.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. It's 125. Okay. Um. So even with that being said, 120,000 should have got someone to talk. I guess not. But as I was saying, you guys, as far as the flyers go, as far as banners, as far as stuff like that, uh, Tracy and Nikki, my admins, they'll be the ones to be able to help you out with that. Um, as far as us going live later, I'm like 70% sure that we'll probably go live. Um, if not, I will let you guys know. We will let you guys know that we won't be going live, but we will. We want to thank you guys for joining. Thank everybody in the comments. Thanks for all the opinions. Thanks for everybody saying to be safe. Thank you for thanking us. We want to thank you guys. Uh, that being said, there's not too much to say. If we do get an update or any more tips, you guys will be the first to know. We will update you as soon as possible. With that being said, you guys, much love to you all. I'm hungry. My wife's hungry. Talk to you guys later. Bring our boys. Let's bring our boys home. Drop me a few blue hearts going down this chat before we end this. Get these blue hearts going in the chat before we end this chat. We need our babies home already. It's too long. I feel like we ain't fighting hard enough, and I know everybody's doing everything in their power to do so. But let these boys see these blue hearts, you guys. How with what everybody else is going through. They're gonna know that we're out here for them. They're gonna know that we're with them and not against them. Same as for the Bio family. I'll say this again. If you have the kids, you know where their whereabouts are, or if you've seen the kids, you heard their names being called out somewhere, please get in contact with law enforcement. You can remain anonymous. You don't have to give up no information. There's a bunch of YouTube channels that you could probably make yourself feel comfortable with and talking to. You can come to my wife, our admins, Nikki or Tracy. There's fire departments. There's everything around that you could always do to give up these kids. They're not yours. No matter what you do to hold them back, they still won't be yours. Before things get worse, might as well give them up. Let them come back to their family. If you do have them, at least let them know that they are being looked for. We do want them back. Cal City wants them back. Bakersfield wants them back. All the surrounding areas, people from the East Coast, West Coast, down south, up north. We want the boys back. The mother wants her boys back. BPD wants our boys back. Everybody wants the boys back, you guys. And we're not going to stop until they come back. As for Jacqueline and Trezell, This is some coward ass shit you guys are pulling. You know something. I'm not gonna accuse you of nothing. But if you know where the boys are, or you have them, or you have them put somewhere, or you know who has them, your best bet would be to come clean now. It ain't gonna get no worse than this, unless you let it get that worse. Jacqueline, you're a mother of your own two biological kids. How can you sleep at night? How can you even get that last meal to your face, knowing that these other two boys are out here, knowing that they were left in your hands to take care of them? You know where they are. If not, talk to that man and tell him to bring them out already. Or Giselle, talk to her. Both you guys come together. Leave the kids somewhere. Hell, leave one place, and Jacqueline, you leave the other somewhere else. They will be found and they will be safe. Wanda West, I could only ask for God to bless your guys' heart and souls. I could only ask that He gives you the strength, the ability, the everything to come forward with whatever it is. If you don't know, then stand outside your yard and scream, I don't know. If you know, then talk to law enforcement, talk to the media, talk to somebody. I'm here to talk to. You can talk to me. I ain't no harm. Josiah, prayers for you too, brother. It's your family. You guys are going through a lot. I understand that. But nobody's going through more than what these boys are going through. Not knowing where they are, not knowing who they're with, and not being with their bio family. Oh, controlling ass. What's the hell's his name?
I'm gonna call him Mr. West. I don't know.
Mr. West. Okay, we're just gonna settle with that because anything other than that is gonna be bad. But anyway, oh, Mr. Controlling ass, Mr. West. You're supposed to be a man who served in the military for the country, and in return, this is what we get from you being a vet. Just gonna ask everybody pray for him too. Jamal got all that platform, bro. All that platform, and ain't using not a lick of it for these boys. We're just gonna pray for you too. Because if anything's gonna bring these boys home, it's gonna be prayer. Because us as a group, us as collective, us as community members, us as friends, us now family, we can move mountains, and we will. Anything to get us to these boys, anything to get the boys to us, it's gonna happen. Jacqueline, Chazelle, I'm praying for you guys also. I don't know how anybody could do it, especially if they know where the boys are. I feel selfish when I can't sleep and I go to sleep at night and I just go to sleep. You know, in the times like we can't sleep, we're sitting here wondering how Jacqueline and Giselle and everybody on that side of the family period is going throughout their day like nothing's ever wrong. Like, I don't get it. That family needs prayer, you guys. They need someone to talk to. They need comfort. They need Jesus' arms wrapped around them for as long as they need it. They need Jesus to walk with them, talk with them. If Wanda let me get close, I'll hug her. Hell, I'll hug them all, everybody in that house. I'll pray for them all too. Because fighting and arguing and bickering back and forth like some kids when we're out actually looking for some kids is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Now, I done stood out in front of the West House and yelled some shit. But who doesn't want to? The West should want to stand out in front of their own house and yell some shit, but they don't. So that's what we chose to do, and we did it. And I ask God forgive me because I've never been that type of person to just throw myself out there like that in front of somebody's yard and just speak whatever comes to mind. But when it comes to kids, you kind of have no choice, which is something that I would have expected from Trezell and Jacqueline during the interviews when the kids first came up missing. The 48 and the 72 hours, the most critical times. That should have been the time they hurt the most. Now should have been the time for me, honestly, if it was my kids. My sadness, my emotion, my heartbreak, all that would have been in the beginning. Today, I would have been an angry motherfucker. Boy, let me tell you, excuse my language. But I would have been mad. My anger would have took over my sadness, my depression, my everything at this point. 3 months, too long. Too long. If the kids aren't alive here with us today, it's too long. If they are alive here with us today, it's still too long because they're not who they want to be with. Nobody knows if they're okay or not. We don't know. You guys don't know. Law enforcement don't know. And the people that do know, they don't give a damn to even come out and say, hey, you know what? I'm not telling you where they are, but they're okay. They're alive and breathing, or they're eating, or this is where we put them, or what have you. We're not even getting that from the people. But that's okay, because motherfuckers like that need prayer, and that's all we can do is pray for these people. We done tried everything. We tried to speak to them. We tried to have media speak to them, law enforcement. Us personally, my wife's tried. I've tried. Crenshaw's tried. We've tried to come at them in the most kindest way possible. Mr. West don't like to stand out there and talk to anybody for the life of him. So just count that man out. Just continue to pray for that man. Hold him especially tight, like super tight. Wanda's in the working. Trezell's in the works. Jacqueline's in the works. Josiah's in the works. The brother from out of town, Jamal, he's in the works. It's all in the works, you guys. Between us and God, we got this. Like I said, we can move mountains. I don't understand the lifestyle that Trezell came from. I don't understand the lifestyle that Jacqueline came from, but I understand the lifestyle that the boys came from. Being a foster child. And then on the flip side, in turn, becoming a foster parent. So I can partially side with the foster parenting side, but I can't part with why they didn't love these two boys like their own. Um, a lot of people have really messed up backgrounds. There's some people that are molested. There's some people that are abused in some type of way. There's some people that are burned, battered, beaten. There's people that go through it. But never in my lifetime have I ever heard a case, read upon a case, or a case has ever been brought to my attention to where two little boys are missing and nobody says nothing. I mean, look at the dude. What's his name? What's that guy's name? Chris Watts. Look what he actually did to his family. And he still had the nerve, the courage, or whatever, big man syndrome, or whatever the fuck, to come forward and tell what he did with his kids and his family. He knew there was consequences when he was doing it. But not for 1 second did he ever sit there and say, you know what, I'm never going to say nothing. It ate him up that much. Why? Because he cared. Those were his kids. That was his wife. That was his family. He built that. That was his empire. See, Trezell and Jacqueline, they weren't building this empire involving these two little boys. Their empire involved their own biological children and them only. Now, with that being said, there's two boys missing, Orrin and Orson. Classic instance here. There's a mama out there stressing. There's two dads out there stressing. There's a whole community stressing. There's different states, cities, towns. Everybody, they're going through it, and it sucks. There's different stages to these boys missing. There was There was worrying, sadness, anger, hurt, wondering, um, everything. You just think everything. AB, thank you. Uh, Tracy, thank you for catching it. Sorry guys, but that's pretty much on what I wanted to get out there. We really seriously, honestly though, we need to start praying for the West family. Anybody who is involved in them boys' life from the West family or whatever, we need to just pray and pray and continue to pray for these people. Pray for better days. Pray for them to wake up one day and one of them just be like, you know what, this is what's going on. Let it be Senor West. Let it be Sir West. Let it be Miss Wanda, um, Josiah, whoever. Hell, let Chalk talk if that's his name, the dog. But somebody needs to say something. And I feel like the only way they will feel the need to say anything is if God pressures them and He puts His arms around them and lets them know it's okay to talk. You know, it's okay. If the kid ain't deceased or anything like that, then what the hell? You know, so Toronto, Canada in the building. That's what's up. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following the boys' story. Thanks for doing what you're doing to get the story out. It's greatly appreciated. One day the boys will see this. Um, that's why I try to keep our language kind of on the slim. Um, if they're watching now, you know. So, but I'm praying for everybody in here because we're all going through the same thing. We're all left wondering. We're all left wondering why. We're all left having a hard time eating and looking at our kid and smiling because we know there's two kids that are really out there and dire and desperate need for help. You know, so that's pretty much it, you guys. I just, like I said, please, if you're gonna pray for anybody, let it be the West's family. Let it be that they come forward. Let it be that the people that have the children come forward, or whoever knows where the children are, let them come forward. Pray for a conviction, pray for an arrest, pray for a search warrant with evidence that's going to close this thing. Let's pray that as long as these boys are out there, this case stays alive. Let's pray that the names stay alive, that they live in us all. And let's just pray, you guys. That's all we can do right now. Because like I said, law enforcement's not giving too much information. Now, I'm not saying that they have nothing. I'm saying that there's only so much that they can give us, which is hardly anything, because it's something to them. And Lord knows, my wife and I, AV, Crenshaw, Rowe, none of us want to be involved in ruining this case whatsoever. So with that being said, we try not to, what people sometimes call it, harassing or to press law enforcement about the information that they have or that we turned over and stuff like that. So we try not to get up under their skin like that. I mean, if there's something that they want the community and the world to know, they're really good at coming on the news and putting that out there. So, like me and my wife talked about it, we're going to go ahead and wait for that. On the flip side, if we do get anything else, if there's any reason for my wife and I to come in contact with any officer regarding this case, we will inform you guys about it. We usually record everything that we do regarding this case because, as you all know, it's a high-profile case, and there's a lot of danger behind it. There's a lot of drama behind it. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of everything. So we kind of got to be on our P's and Q's, have our 10 toes down, and we kind of have to look out for each other, and keep our eyes and ears open. And we're going to continue to do so. Like I said, pray for us. We pray for you guys. We all pray for them, and we all pray for the safe return of the boys. Thank you all, and God bless. My wife and I try to get on here later to do another live. We'll figure out. It'll be something. Won't know if it'll be an update or not, but it'll be something. So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thanks for watching. Love every single one of you guys. Keep them hands together. Keep praying. Keep your heads up. Get some sleep. Eat. And that's what it is. God bless you all, Vanessa. It's appreciated. Gabby, see y'all later.